Now, I realise that in the past I've been very hard on you. But that's all over now.
You mean we're back in business?
No, that's not what I mean at all. I won't be involved in anything that might cause trouble.
Well, if you're trying to confuse me, you're doing a good job.
Let's just say that my thinking has changed. From now on, I will be doing my job by the book. Understand?
Whatever you say.
So you see, that's the surprise. You've been, how do they put it, bound over to my custody. Yes, that's it. Well, aren't you going to say anything? We're going to get married.
Don't be stupid, Stevens. Mr. Bennett's going to be here any minute. You! Come on, Stevens. What's the matter? Not scared, are you? I'm blind, remember? Now we're even. You know, there's some blind people who can tell the difference between light and dark. And I'm one of them. At the moment, it seems to be pretty dark. They've turned the lights out, haven't they? Now we're both blind. And I'm going to make sure you stay that way.
They tried to kill me. I waited so long. I ain't gonna do it.
So he'll be bringing it round on the truck about 5 o'clock, if it's all right with you.
You understand this is only on trial?
Oh, yes, but I don't think you'll regret it.
All right. Thank you, Stanley. It's a very nice thought. Now, I'll notify the gate guard and he can help you move it in.
Thank you, Mrs. Powell.
You wanted to see me, Governor?
Yes. Apparently the women are finding the new Joan Ferguson a little hard to believe. So am I.
It doesn't surprise me.
Good. Because if you think this performance of yours is going to win my support to have you stay here, you're wrong.
I thought the department decided whether or not I stay.
Unfortunately, that's correct. But I'm warning you. Put one foot wrong, and they will be the first to hear about it.
I understand, Governor.
That's all.
Trouble, Governor.
What?
Johns and Stevens.
Again?
And he says, no, not then. He says, now. And I went,
What do you reckon?
2 green.
Well, how about these?
No good. Stink the place out.
Who's asking you?
You'll get yourself sick if you smoke that stuff.
Yeah, well, I'm desperate. I remember when I was a kid, we used to smoke anything, even cabbage stalks. Mum caught us once. She gave us a shopping hiding. Reckon it'd stunned our growth.
It did, right between your ears.
Oh, shut up, smartass.
You got no sense of humour.
Look, until we get our buy-up back, you're as desperate for a smoke as the rest of us. So if you're such an expert, get down here and help.
Yeah, you got a point.
Hey, how you doing? Oh, it'd help if we knew the best stuff to use. Yeah, well, why don't you ask Mr. Dobson? He knows all about plants.
one thing's for sure, I'm glad I don't smoke.
Yes, dear.
It's good to see the girls so interested in the garden, Minnie.
Oh, they're interested, all right, Mr. Dobson. So, how are things with the pudding club, huh?
Not bad. Truth, I could do with a smoke, though.
Well, why don't you join the girls at the supermarket?
If I got down on my hands and knees, I'd never get up again. Wishful thinking, anyway. No more fags for me till the kid's born.
Good girl. You know, it's a pity you lot are so isolated. We hardly ever get to see you.
How do you think we feel? Talk about nothing but babies most of the time. It gets depressing.
Forget it. The stuff's too wet. By the time you dry it out, we'll have buy-up back anyway.
Cass, you're on tray duty, aren't you?
Yeah?
I want you to get me something from the kitchen. Do you reckon you could?
Oh, geez, Bobby, I'm sick of getting into strife.
Oh, you won't get caught. Come on, do it for your mates.
Oh, OK. What do you want me to nick?
I'll tell you later.
Amongst the weeds, are we, ladies?
Mr. Dobson, you hit the nail right on the head.
I'm not unsympathetic to what you've been through, Johns, but I can't make allowances for it.
Well, I've got nothing now anyway, so what does it matter?
And the library was in darkness when you arrived.
Yeah, the lights have been turned off at the switchboard.
Yes, Mrs. Morris.
Sorry to interrupt, but Mr. Bennett's still waiting. He's hoping to have a word with Johns.
Well, he'll have to wait until tomorrow. Take Stevens to the hospital and have the shoulder looked at, Mrs. Ratcliffe. Mr. Manning, I want Johns kept in solitary.
All right, come on, Johns.
Well, don't tell me there's more.
Oh, it's nothing serious. It's, Mason's a half an hour late back from work.
Oh, well, you deal with it when she turns up, will you, Meg? I haven't got the strength.
Had a rough day?
Huh. It's just that I feel the lunatics are running the asylum.
Well, if Pixie doesn't hurry up, she's going to miss out on dinner.
She's not missing much.
Yeah, probably elope with the bus driver. She's always raving on about him.
That kid's so dizzy, nothing would surprise me.
Hey, you ever noticed how you want to smoke more after you eat?
Food stimulates your taste buds.
This stuff, you'd be kidding.
Hey, did you get the papers? Yeah, I had some stash. Did you get the stuff? What stuff?
I hope you haven't done anything to get Cass into trouble.
Of course not.
Good on you. Now, don't you ever ask me to do nothing like that ever again. I was real nervous.
What is it?
Mixed herbs. Should be a real blast.
You can't tell them anything, Judy. Oh, hey, Jude, there's been some trouble. Blinda's in solitary and Sonia's in her cell. I had to take them their tucker.
What happened?
Oh, I don't know. Blinda's been crying, but Rib reckoned Sonia was going to get her. Well, maybe she did.
That rotten bitch. We've been protecting her, we've been keeping Belinda away from her, and now she got to the kid.
Yeah, now poor little Blinda's in solitary.
Yeah, hang on. We don't know the full story.
We don't need to, Judy. That rotten bitch has had it coming to her for a long time. Now, what are we waiting for? Are we going to show her who's top dog or not?
Yeah, of course. After we've eaten.
I didn't ask for visitors.
You were warned to lay off, Belinda.
Well, you got it wrong.
I don't think so.
Look, she came at me with a spanner. I've got the bruises to prove it.
What, who's trying to fight you off, old bet?
Yeah, you going to let her talk away out of this one, Jude?
No way.
Oh, come on, don't be bloody stupid.
You're on your own this time, Sonia. This isn't my style, Stevens, but it seems to be the only language you'd understand.
All right, get away from her.
Oh, Mr. Manning, she was feeling a bit faint, wasn't he, love?
I said
Would've
move
fallen
back. I need to ask what you three are doing here.
Oh, Sonia was feeling a bit crook. We thought we'd see how she was.
You got something to say about that, Stevens?
No problem, Mr. Manning. Like they said, it was purely a social call, only I didn't have time to tell them how I was hurt.
Johns has admitted she tried to kill Stevens in the library.
Oh, sure, Mr. Manning,
Hold
come.
it, hold it.
All right. Visiting time's over.
I'm real sorry, Sonia. Sorry Belinda didn't finish the job.
Thanks.
Just doing my job. You ask for everything you get.
Oh, you beauty! How you rolling? Too fat.
How you feel, dear? It's not a nice feeling to play the heavy.
You don't know the half of it, Minnie.
What happened?
Well, Sonia was saved by the bell. Manning came in.
Yeah, luckily, otherwise I would have beaten her black and blue for something she didn't even do.
Oh, no. Belinda again?
I don't know what you're worrying about. I feel like slapping Sonia down every time I see her. Wouldn't have gone astray if you had done it.
Maybe so, but it doesn't alter the fact that I jumped to conclusions because I felt sorry for a blind girl. I'm a great top dog,
Cut
aren't I?
that out. You're human, aren't you? And speaking of being human, busted for a fag, herbal or not.
Helen's right. Dear Belinda fooled us all. I mean, it was easy enough to believe that Sonia would have got back at her.
Oh, so it's all right for a top dog to bite the wrong leg occasionally? is it?
You bet it is, especially Sonia's.
What does yours taste like?
Parsley, sage, rosemary and thyme.
Terrific. Yeah, well, your palm's up and all.
I beg your pardon?
Oh, not you, Helen. I mean the fact. Hey, that's a point. What if a screw comes in? Oh, we'll just say our breath smell from Mrs. O'Regan's.
Ladies, if I could have your attention for a minute, I've got a bit of a surprise for you.
Oh, here we go, girls, mate. We've all been waiting for it.
Stand the flusher. Strikes again. He's got to get his raincoat.
That's it.
Okay, mate. I'll leave you with it.
comes from my place. We've got no room for it now. I thought you ladies might get some fun out
Very generous of you, we certainly will.
It's no bloody good to me. I can't play it.
Oh, it's simple. You put us one of these rolls in and you paddle away. Watch this, girls.
of it. Still spitting those smelly cigarettes you've been making.
I haven't played one of these in years. What is it, girls? Come. Come, drink some port wine with me down at the Opal and Bush.
Are you okay, Mr. Dobson?
Yes, I'm fine. Go back inside.
Oh, geez, you're crook, aren't you? Look, I'll get the sister.
No gas. Stay where you are. It's the old ticker, that's all. Gives me a bit of bother from time to time. Nothing to worry about.
You ought to be at home getting looked after.
One of these pills, I'll be right as rain. Not to worry, Edie, for nothing.
Oh, now you mean Mrs. Dobson don't even know?
No one but you. So it's going to be our little secret, right?
Well, yeah, whatever you say.
You want to count on you. Doesn't sound too bad, does it?
Oh, yeah.
You go back inside and join the others. There's a good day.
Obviously, Stan's pianola's been installed.
Yes, they're certainly enjoying themselves.
Good. It might keep them out of trouble for a while. I think we've had enough for one day.
Well, it's not over yet.
What is it?
Mason is still missing.
Hell.
Afternoon, Schumann's Bridal Boutique.
Yes. Hello, Mr. Sherman. It's Colleen Powell from Wentworth Detention Centre here. I'm phoning about Pixie Mason.
Ah, yes. Lovely girl. I hope you're not going to take her away from me again.
Oh, no. No, it's nothing like that. It's just that she hasn't returned yet.
Oh dear. I'm afraid she isn't here.
When did she leave?
Oh, about the usual time. Maybe a little later.
All right. Yes, thanks, Mr. Sherman. I'll be in touch tomorrow. Well, that's that. She left over 2 hours ago. Have to phone the police.
Oh, I hope she hasn't had an accident.
Knowing our Pixie, she could be anywhere between a hospital bed and the Amazon jungle.
Oh, Mr. Manning.
What is it?
I just need to explain something to get the record straight. Knowing my husband doesn't mean you know me.
Oh, I wouldn't say that.
But you don't know what happened between Eddie and me. Nobody does. I promise you I never want to hurt him.
Well, a cop can only count on 2 things in his life. His mates and his family. Eddie made a big mistake counting on you.
Was you, wasn't it?
What?
You switched the lights in the library so Belinda could get at me.
Well, you can believe what you like. That story's not going to get you very far.
Oh, Helen, come along. Move it, Shaz.
Hey, Mrs. Morris, what's happened to Pixie? She didn't come back last night.
I'm sorry, Cash. She's still missing. Oh, come on, get her moving.
Jeez, I don't believe it. Oh, Pixie's gone over the wall. Jude, Pixie's on the run.
That dimwit, I can't believe it. Yeah, well, she's out and you're in, so who's the dimwit?
Oh, up yours, Brian.
Oh, my, I'm in a good mood today.
Yeah, well, I feel bloody awful. You and your stinking mixed hoops.
Were you happy enough last night?
Oh, serves you all right. How are you this morning?
Fit as a fiddle, Cass. No, it's our secret, remember?
Yeah, whatever you say, Mr. Dobson.
Mrs. Morris, I'd like to see the governor straight after breakfast.
You'll see the governor when it suits her, Stevens. Oh, get a move on. Well, your music certainly hasn't soothed that savage beast, Stanley.
Oh, give it time. You never know.
There wouldn't be enough time to change that one.
Stand on the line. Your name is Maureen Maguire, is that correct?
Yes.
You have been charged with 6 counts of breaking and entering and remanded to Wentworth Detention Centre to await trial.
I didn't do any of those things, bloody hell. Someone's got to believe me.
That'll be enough of that. Are the charges correct?
Yes.
Any problems, Miss Ferguson?
We'll just have to wait and see, Governor. This is Maureen Maguire. She's been charged with the cat burglaries.
Oh, God, that's all we need.
But they've got the wrong person.
Mr. Bennett's here to see
One of the
John.
first things you'll have to learn, Maguire, is that you don't speak unless you're spoken to. Now move over to the counter.
Oh, yeah, well, anything's worth a try. But will you have a move to D block after the visit?
Right. Oh, more guests. Morning, Sergeant.
Good morning, Sergeant. Well, I see you haven't got the elusive Pixie with you.
Not yet, Mrs. Powell, but we've spoken to her employer. Seems he wasn't entirely frank with you last night.
Tell me the worst.
It appears Mason left the boutique with one of her former husbands.
I don't need a bloody shower. Maybe have one last night.
Move it along, Maguire.
Don't you push me around, you great fucking bitch.
You know what the real problem is, though, don't you, Sergeant? 9 times out of 10, you bring them back.
Wanting revenge on that woman was what kept you going. Am I right? You were determined to kill her, weren't you? Mind if I ask why you didn't?
I don't know. I couldn't. I don't know why you bother coming back anyway. There's no point...
I came back because you're a survivor, Belinda. One of the best I've seen. And I'm not going to let you wrap yourself up in a cocoon and pretend there's nothing out there for you anymore. My wife wanted to meet you. June?
I don't want to talk to anyone.
Hello, Belinda.
Please, both of you, just leave me alone.
You sound like me, a year ago. I know what you're going through. It's a whole new ballgame, isn't it? Like being reborn, whether you wanted to or not.
It's all right for you. You've got someone to help you through the bad times.
You will have too, Belinda. When you stop fighting off anyone who tries to get too close to you. The world doesn't owe you a living just because you've lost your sight. It's up to you to set your own goals, and it's up to you to make sure that you achieve them. Believe me, if I can do it, anyone can.
God, I'd kill for a fag. Would have thought those herbal things would have turned you off for good.
Yeah, I reckon. What a stink. I bet there's not a live cockroach in the place.
Janet, the freak. Oh, wrong again, Jude.
Hi, this is Maureen Maguire. She wants to work. Would you show the ropes, please, Brian?
Oh, yes, Miss Ferguson.
Where's Parker?
In the toot, Miss Ferguson.
Thank you.
G'day, I'm Bobby Mitchell.
Of hers gives me the creeps.
I keep waiting for her to burst out of her shell and be her old self again.
Well, I'm fed up to the back teeth with cretins like you. I never committed those robberies, so you get your facts right before you start talking crap about something that doesn't even concern you. Yeah, that goes for the rest of you bloody idiots.
Now, you listen to me, Maguire. We are not interested in your story. You save that for the judge, you understand? And if you want to keep out of trouble around here, you had better learn to control your temper. I'll start loading these in the washing machine.
Is everything all right here?
Oh, just dandy, Mrs. M.
Right, now John's just been transferred to another cell block. She wishes to say goodbye.
Good riddance.
It's Stevens they should be shanghaiing.
Yeah, bad luck, kid.
No, I think it's probably better this way. I've got to try and start getting my head together, and I think a change of scenery probably will help.
Well, that's great news. Best of luck to you, Belinda.
Yeah, you give him heaps, love.
Bye,
All
dear.
right.
Bye-bye.
Get your things.
Bye.
Stevens, have you seen the governor?
Yes, Mrs. Morris. So it works out for you, Belinda?
Hey, Min, what do you reckon I could use? For what?
Yeah.
Well, something to put in my head that the screws can't wash out.
Why not leave well enough alone, Bobby?
Oh, because it's boring.
Hi, you want a cup?
Oh, love one, thanks. Just wait. You and Meg will be holding the fort later on. I'm going to be out all afternoon, and Joan has to go to that inquest.
Anything we need to know?
I did have a talk with Stevens.
She accused me of being out to get her, right?
Right, thanks.
I thought she might. Of course, you realise I couldn't have set her up in the library. I was with Hugh Bennett.
Yes, I know that. You're a good friend of her husband's, aren't you?
She didn't miss a trick, did she? Yeah, I know, Eddie. I don't see too much of him these days, though. He doesn't hang around with his old crowd anymore. Sonia sure made a mess out of him. I don't like her, but believing I'm out to get her, that's just paranoia.
Good. That's all I wanted to hear. Do you mind if I ask you why you left the police force? You don't have to tell me. It's off the record.
A lot of reasons, I suppose. You go into a job like that with ideals. It doesn't take too long for them to get knocked out of you. The things people get away with, both sides of the law.
Yeah.
Wasn't why I left. I mean, you accept that thing after a while, just as part of life. Now, Colin, you asked if I'm boring you.
I would like to know.
Well, to cut a long story short, the bank where my fiancée worked at was held up and she was killed. And I just couldn't understand how germs like that could get away with it with us so close behind them. Not until one of the plain clothes boys that was onto them became mysteriously wealthy. I had no proof. But that was enough for me. I just didn't want the job anymore.
Reckon sorry.
Yeah, well, all cops aren't like that. Eddie Stevens, he's one of the good ones. He's dedicated, he's honest, and he winds up with Sonia. As they say, there ain't no justice. Well, I better get back to it.
Madam over there got the salts now.
Yeah, well, so would you if you was innocent.
If.
Come off it. Did you ever know anyone that said they were guilty?
Yeah? Oh, but I was. I knew that. Hey, you really reckon she is the cat?
Well, the cops seem to think so.
Hey, I seen one of them movies once about them sort of burglaries, you know, people nicking over the rooftops, hanging on by their fingertips. Bloody well, I can remember what it was called, but Gene Kelly was in it.
Was Grace Kelly to catch the thief?
That's the one.
You seem a bit quiet. You're working out how to deal with the problem, kid.
That one's got every right to be angry, Judy. I know who the cat is. And it isn't her. It's one of my kids.
What?
Decided to play the big time. Doing very well for herself, too, as you probably know.
Yeah, $250,000 worth so far.
Of course, I'm very proud of her getting away with it. It's not doing our Maureen much good.
All right, ladies, come on, move out.
Hey, I'll show you around if you like, Maureen.
Thanks, but no one calls me Maureen. It's Mo.
Okay, Mo, whatever you say.
Hey, now we've got the piano, Mrs. M. When do we get the guitars and the drums?
When they changed the laws on noise pollution. Come on, move on.
Street! Oh, hell! Oh! Oh!
What is it?
Street! I've got bleach in my eyes! Oh, quick! Quick! Oh, quick! Oh! Get out!
You were very lucky Mr. Dobson ran water over your eyes. Diluted the bleach before it could do any real damage.
Yeah, well, they're still stinging like buggery.
Well, maybe. But if he hadn't come along when he did, you could have ended up totally blind.
Jeez, I don't reckon I could handle that too good. Thanks, Stan.
I just can't understand why you'd want to do a thing like that. It's silly. Your hair looks nice, the colour it is.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't expect you to understand.
Will she need to see a doctor?
No. She'll have sore eyes for a couple of days, but she'll be fine. I told you head back. I'll put in some drops. There. Now just stay there till your vision clears. You sure they'll be all right?
Yes, but I want you to come back at tea time for some more drops.
I have to get over to maternity. Do you think you could stay with her for a while, Mr. Dobson?
Yes, yes, of course, sister.
Thanks.
You're right, you know. I don't understand why the young ones want to do such strange things to their hair. Some of them look quite ridiculous.
Yeah, well, we reckon you old codgers managed that without even trying.
Sad to see someone your age in here. Where are your parents?
They never gave us stuff about me. Probably in a pub or a TAB somewhere.
Don't you have anyone? Nobody special at all?
Where have you been living? All that stuff's okay for books and movies, but this is the real world. I got me, and that's all.
Give yourself time, Mitchell. My daughter was exactly like you, till the right young man turned up. Now she's settled, got a family of her own, wouldn't change it for anything.
Yeah, there's no chance of that happening to me. Can't have any kids anyway. Too many abortions. So what? Even backyard abortions have to scrape out a living, don't they?
How are the eyes now?
X-ray vision.
All right, come along. I'll take you back to join the others.
So what are you going to do? Oh, I don't know, dear. It's like heads you win, tails I lose. But I can't stand by and see young Mo's stuck in here when I know she's innocent. I can't put young Sue into the cops either.
Yeah, well, you got to do something. I copped a rap once for something I didn't do, and it's no fun, believe you me.
Nobody to back you up, dear?
Only the person who did it. Oh, she came through eventually, but I was really screwed up while I was waiting, I'll tell you.
Mo's only on remand. She might get convicted.
I bet you she does, if it goes that far. The police have been out to get the cat for a long time, and Mo's been positively identified by 2 of the victims.
Well, then she doesn't have a hope in hell.
Look, dear, I'll get Terry to see that she's got a good barrister.
Oh, the kid's back. How's the eye, Bobby?
Oh, it's all right.
Visitor for you, Brian. Gonna move her to your Miss out of lunch.
Blinded yourself, you silly girl.
Forget the papers, Granny. Get onto me wig.
Ruth.
Isn't it great?
Well, that's that, thank goodness.
Yes, let's be thankful that my story was accepted and let that be an end to it.
Well, I've certainly learned something.
I think we both have. Now, let me take you to lunch and then I have some packing to do.
Oh? Do you have to leave so soon?
Well, I think it's time. I need to get back to the country for a while. And then I might go on up to Brisbane and see how your brother's getting on with his tax problems.
It's always something, isn't there?
Helps me to feel needed.
You are needed. You've also helped me see my work in a totally different light.
I'm glad to hear that, Joan. I know this has been a traumatic experience for both of us, but it's brought us closer together. I'm very grateful for that.
So am I.
Hi, stranger.
Hiya, Judy.
Well, it's really nice to see you, Wally. How have you been?
Fine. I've moved back up to the hills.
Yeah, I know. So, how's Anne?
Oh, she's okay. Matter of fact, I'm going to pick her up soon, take her over to see Paul.
Yeah, that was a dreadful business. I heard about that. Have you, dropped in at Driscoll?
Yeah, I have. I hate to tell you this, but, Alice has had a breakdown. Seems like once she started to behave like a human being, she couldn't cope with the department.
Well, who's looking after the place?
Nobody. The women are trying to manage on their own.
But that's ridiculous. That's why the women are there, to have someone look after them.
That's why I wanted to tell you. I thought you might recommend somebody to take over.
Oh, the only one I can think of is Myra Desmond.
PRG lady?
Yeah, she runs the place. She'd do it. At least we could get someone else.
You want me to look her up?
Please.
I'll do it happily, you know, because I've really got a stake in that place.
I know that. Thanks.
You all right, Red?
How's it going, son?
Roughly speaking, I think that means up yours, Min.
Yeah, that goes for the rest of you, too.
Good. Hate to be left out of anything.
Obviously, her little escapade hasn't sweetened up her nature.
Oh, Jude, got your sealer?
Oh, thanks.
Who was your visitor, dear?
Wally.
Oh, you look like the Titanic sank and you were on it. What's the news?
Nothing serious, nothing that he can't handle on his own, anyway.
Heavens, what is this?
Now, Mo, this may not look like much, but it always tastes real good.
If you're right, I'm starving. Now, you wait for the taste test, because Cass will eat anything.
I'm sorry we gave you a hard time. We thought you were snowing us with that being innocent story.
Yes, dear, and I'm going to make sure you've got a top-class lawyer when you front that court. We're not going to let them get away with branding the wrong person.
Yeah, well, what made you change your mind all of a sudden?
Oh, because Min knows who done it.
Is that true? You know who the real cat is?
Keep it down, will you?
Yes, I know.
And you better go and tell the governor, hadn't you?
I'm sorry, dear. I can't do that without incriminating someone else. Someone who's very close to me.
Stiff. Look, I ain't give a monkey stuff about your mate. I'm innocent and I want to get out of here.
You don't seem to understand. That is the code we live by. We don't lag on anyone, no matter what the reason.
So you want me to cop it sweet and do time for someone else?
Of course we don't. Anyway, Minnie's lawyer will probably get you off.
Probably. Stick it. I'm not taking that chance, lady.
Well, we've done it.
Yes, you got a big mouth. I see the governor right now.
The governor is not available right now. I suggest you go back to the table.
No bloody way. I'm going to see her.
I'll only say this once, McGuire. Now you go back to that table, or I'll put you on a charge.
Geez, Mo looks real mad, doesn't she? Oh, I'm sorry if I said the wrong thing.
Cass, you want to know.
We know it's rough, Key, but we'll work it out for you.
Just take it easy or you're going to end up in more trouble.
You call taking the rap for someone else.
I'm sorry, Mo. There's nothing I can do.
And it's no use going to the governor. Minnie will just deny everything.
We'll see that you get off. You've just got to learn to trust us.
I'd rather trust a nest of snakes.
I still say it's too early to make that decision. Why don't you wait till you get back to work? Then you can see it from all sides.
Look, it'd be pointless going back to Wentworth now just to up and resign as soon as Paul comes home. It wouldn't be fair to Colleen or the department.
Are you sure you're not making Paul an excuse?
That's not true, and you know it.
All right, maybe we better go in before this degenerates into a full-scale blue.
Nurse McGuire, to reception, please. Nurse McGuire.
Hey, my two favourite people.
Hi, Paul.
How are you feeling?
Great.
Yes, well, you're looking better.
We're worried you might have taken a turn for the nurse. Worse.
Give me time. Actually, I've been lying here thinking of a good way to make some bread.
Oh.
Yeah, I reckon one of the newspapers will pay me a fortune for my story. How I got shot up by the mob. The true story of Paul Reynolds.
Oh, Paul. You've been through so much.
You've had a pretty rough trot yourself. How are you feeling?
I'm fine. And I wouldn't have come through it so well if it hadn't been for your support. I appreciate it.
Take it easy, you'll give me a big head.
Well, it's true. Anyway, now it's my turn. I've decided to give up my job so I can look after you properly. You're going to need some help when you come
No
out.
way. Look, don't you think I've got enough to worry about with having to worry about you two? Well, chuck it in if you like, but not for me. I'm sorry, Mum. I didn't mean to upset you.
No, don't be silly, Paul. I'm not upset. It's just... Well, I thought you'd be pleased.
Now, hang on. Let me try and explain. I've had to cope with the fact that there's a damn good chance that I'll be a cripple for the rest of my life. But I can handle that.
I know that.
But not if I feel that I'm stuffing your life up too.
Paul, you are my life. I want to help you.
No, Mum. Look, please try to understand. You've got too much to offer than just tie yourself down to me. And whether I'm right or wrong, it doesn't matter. I'd feel so guilty I couldn't take it.
Hang on, you two. Aren't you putting the cart before the horse? The doc said there's a fair chance that you'll walk again.
Yeah, I know. I want you to promise me that whatever happens, you won't tie yourself down to me.
I don't know, Paul.
I do.
Hey, mate, feel like a bit of a sing-song?
Oh, I'm not in the singing mood.
Cheer up, love. It'll work out in the end.
That's not too bad.
That's good fun.
Oh, no, and I can see the governor.
I'm afraid the governor's...
Don't give me that. I know my rights. I'd
If you'd let me finish, Maguire. I was about to say that the governor is away for the afternoon. Now, I know you're new here and I'll make some allowance for it. But unless you learn to keep your temper under control, you'll find yourself in nothing but trouble. Work bell in 10 minutes, ladies.
I wouldn't upset Mrs. Morris if I were you, dear. She's one of the decent screws around here.
Oh, you can get stuffed. All of you.
Hey, this must be good on the leg muscles.
Here, we'll keep paddling.
You thieving bitch, it's mine!
Stuffed anyhow.
You give us that back before I smash your teeth in.
Oh, drop
it. Oh, you did that on purpose.
No, that's enough, Mitchell. You're on a charge. Now come with me.
But you don't understand.
I understand very well. There's no excuse for physical attack, Brian. I trust you'll all remember that. Come on.
Well, that's one we owe you, Keane.
Of course, there's this new one, Maguire. Oh, talk about an Irish temper.
Oh, you think she's a troublemaker?
No, I don't think so. Just another innocent one.
I see.
Oh, sorry. I was looking for Mrs. Powell.
Oh, she's away for the afternoon. Could I help you?
Well, I just wanted to see her about a couple of ideas I've got that might help things a bit.
Well, why don't you tell us about them? If they're good ideas, we'll back you up.
All right. Well, I noticed yesterday, during the exercise period, some of the women were taking a keen interest in the garden. Not just our block, we had some out from maternity as well.
Yes?
I just thought how healthy it would be if we could get the ladies outside a bit more. Have gardening as part of the work program, you know?
It's about time that was reinstated as a work option.
You mentioned the mothers too, Stanley.
Oh, yes, but not for hard work, of course. I can't see the harm in having them mix with the rest of the women during working hours. In fact, I think it'd be very good for them.
It's a good idea. They have been rather isolated.
Well, it helps to give them a sense of family again.
Nothing like a glowing young mother to bring out the best in most of us. I remember way back in the 50s, we had this hard case who'd been in and out most of his life, mostly in big troublemaker, you know the sort. Well, he came back in, sliced a couple of inmates, tried an escape. Then lo and behold, he found out his wife was expecting. Changed him overnight, like a lamb he was.
Yes, I've heard that can happen. But the work bell just went.
Oh,
Mr. Dobson,
good
should
heavens, yes, I've just been rattling on. Thanks for your time, Mrs. Davidson.
Thank you for your good ideas, Mr.
Right.
Dobson.
Better get back to work.
He seems like a nice man.
Yes, he is.
So much for Mr. Nice Guy Bloody Dobson. I've got cleaning duties now. My first job's to scrub out the loo.
That's better than losing remission, dear.
Big deal.
I put your Walkman on your bed, Bobby. Did you get it?
Yeah, and it's busted. Don't worry, Bobby. We'll see she doesn't get away with it.
You bet she won't.
Now, don't go off half-cocked or you get yourself into trouble again.
That's right. Just leave it to us. Picker thieves have to be taught a lesson.
Why didn't you tell Dobson that she deserved a good bashing up? If you had, we'd be copying it now, not you.
We have already discussed this. We do not lag on anybody. That is the golden rule around here.
Yeah, and that's the rules keeping me in here, so you know what you can do with that.
Listen, mate.
What's this, tea break already? So he's blaming me for being in trouble, you know. When I entered the rec room, you were having a go at Keane. The book says you get put on a charge.
Yeah, well, I reckon your book's missing a few pages.
How'd it go?
Oh, in our favour. Self-defence.
It's good news. How's the Major?
He's relieved it's over. I just saw him off at the airport.
Pity you couldn't have spent more time with him. You're looking pleased with yourself.
With good reason, I think. The new head of the department has just been announced.
Anyone we know?
Yes, actually. I'm taking the position.
These will keep you going for the rest of the week?
Yes, I've got a lot of catching up to do, but it's necessary if I'm going to do my job well.
Well, I think you're in the perfect position now to tighten up the department.
Yes. Once that's consolidated, I'll be able to make changes without their interference. I've always known what's best for Wentworth. Now's my chance to do something about it.
I hope it works out the way you want it to.
I wouldn't do to try and get out of this duffel again. But he'd want to plan it better next time. Police got the money? Got a new spot now. Not even Kev knows where it is. But I thought you two hightailed it together. How'd you manage that? Kevin had to get rid of this lump of lead. So I dumped him on this quack I know and I took off on my own. Left the stash where they made him right. All I have to do is pick it up when I get out. Let's hope your friend doesn't spend it. You think I'm stupid? She doesn't even know what she's keeping for me. Then let's hope she doesn't find it. No sweat. Suppose you feel safer now they've shifted that freaked-out blind chick. Not really. I still have to watch my back. Someone cut those lights in the library.
So he says, you want it pasteurised? He says, no, just get it about up for a waist. She can splash with the rest of the waist. It's pasteurised, you know.
Oh,
Say, dear. You like it?
Hi, Mr. Dobson.
Hello. These peppers look a bit sickly, don't they?
Oh, yeah. Hey, Mr. Dobson, I just wanted to say I still think you're a real nice person, even though you had to put little Bobby on a charge.
Oh, I'm glad you feel that way, Cass.
Yeah.
How'd you like to work out here in the garden?
Ah, I'd be real good. I really miss working in the outdoors.
Yeah, that's right. You were a farm girl, weren't you?
Yeah.
Excuse me, Cass.
Suppose you think you're smart. Me Walkman's wrecked now and I'm going to see you pay for it.
You talking to me or just chewing on a brick? Dumb slut.
Dumb am I? If you're so bloody clever, why are you hanging around with Stevens? You two having it off, are you? You bitch! Let me go, you dirty rotten perv!
Take her inside, will you, Miss Ferguson? Stay with her till I've seen the governor and organise punishment.
Right.
You all right, Mitchell?
Yeah. Thanks for getting her off me.
Are you hurt?
No, I'll be right. See the way Stan the man fixed her? Not bad for an old bloke.
Oh, yeah. Are you all right, Mr. Dobson?
Fine, Cass, just fine.
Oh, Mrs. M, you beauty. Thanks a lot to get me to back
Oh, did you have King dealt with, Miss Ferguson?
Yes, Mr. Dobson, she's lost her buy-up and she's now in her cell.
Thanks, I'll just check she's all right.
Miss Ferguson?
Yes, Stevens.
Could I have a word with you?
Yes.
I've been trying to work out who turned the lights out in the library. Now, Mr. Manning's got an alibi, but the only other officer that's got it in for me is you.
And why would I do a thing like that, Stevens?
Because you're worried the department won't swallow the new image of yours. With me dead, there's nobody else in the position that could tarnish it.
You do have a vivid imagination, Stevens. You're no threat to me.
But can you take that chance?
Look, it won't be long before you realise you're quite wrong. Now, if there's anything you want, providing it's legal, I'll be very happy to oblige. Anything else, you're on your own.
Come to gloat.
Don't be a child, Keen. I get no pleasure out of seeing someone punished. The penalty may seem harsh to you, but I've had no time for anyone to put their boot in when someone's down.
That's life. I didn't invent it. Now, why don't you shove off? What's up, Pops? Pull a muscle playing He-Man. Good game, eh, Pops? Race you for him.
He used to give me roses. I wish he could again. But that was on the outside, and things were different then. On the inside, the sun still shines, and the rain falls down. But the sun and rain are prisoners too.